wanda hakimin doka a lokacin da ake tunanin Kaduna za ta iya fashewa a lokacin zaɓe. Sani ko an tuna lokaci aka ce kai ɓangaren Christian, kai ɓangaren Musulmi, daga za ta fashe, Kaduna sai za ta fashe. Hakimi bai manta ba, I think Asar Pyramids. So that was where we did the last meeting before the election, sir. And you are the chairman of the meeting. Yes. So akwai places like Awamada, Savantisha, Rigasa, and other places that I mentioned that are the hotspots areas. When I get him, and in the election, something will happen. And before you know it, with the mandate to act about various people that came from various places. And I think I'm one of the persons that come from Rigasa. Then I was president of Forum and Association of Rigasa. I was given the mandate. And I think that election is one of the most peaceful elections. Because the mandate given to those individuals was carried out successfully. And now we have a person like him, and I was surprised. Because we be magana, what did it like Sarah? The only thing I knew he did is challenge my presenter yesterday, which I knew if really he would give the kind of actions and advices okay, I want to check yesterday, so get it to 20 years back, which I know we have all the documents that we are explanation. We are talking about that we are still in here, and we do not change anywhere. I appreciate what you just said. You cannot just take a program of certification from data checker and implement it. You understand? So I get over one or two things, but it's not all that work. Understand? So please, we have people like them. I will suggest is let him talk, because they have the experience and the one that actually are in everything. So the other ones, you need to say something, because wataƙila da kafa wurin su bayanai da ba za mu zauna mu dake haka kamar yadda muka dake jiya da kan yi zama su.
Straight. Yeah, it's straight.
No corner, no bus stop. It's straight.
Straight.
Well, actually, yes, I think that was one of the days of the university common management alliance. I can see the number of cases that were part and parcel of the round table when we had conflict management alliance was something that came up as a means of prevention in terms of security in the area of governance. And what we did at that particular point in time was what was mandated for us to do under the Office of the National Security Advisor. It was more or less a round table conference that had members from different segments of society, right and the left. We had representations from the civil society organizations, traditional institutions, virtually cross-border. And what we did then was to look at most of the conflicts that were, surfacing within the various segments of the university environment, and propose solutions. Discuss the need. It was a round table that was wholly coordinated. That was after every 2 weeks. The deliberations of the council or the alliance forms part and parcel of the documents that have been presented to the university council. What brought an end to the university conflict management alliance then was the creation of the university education. Prior to the demise of the university conflict management alliance, the big part is ensuring in practice the law that stole the establishment of the university solution. We blocked the university hospital. We dropped part of the remaining remnants of funds that we had under the conflict management plans with the university commission. And immediately the domestic peace commission was established. The domestic committee went ceased to exist. Now, the public management alliance then did continue what the peace commission was doing after the demise of the armed alliance. And we had funding, like I said, from the Office of the National Security Advisor. We had mandate to interfere in working the whole crisis work out the state, be it farmer herders, be it Korean, be it resources conflict, and so on and so on. And it was something that was working smooth. Had a very smooth flow. We had the people of understanding of what really for. And members of the armed forces, the Nigerian Air Force, Nigerian Army, Nigerian Navy, the Third Station, even in Kashmir, the Nigerian Police Force, Civil Defense, Nigerian Immigration Service, Customs, were all part of the Round Table Alliance. And the Secretariat of the Alliance was also being anchored under the Office of the Secretary of Government. So, literally what he said was true, but then, that was just a yes. I don't know if it is possible for us to have something of that sort now that the peace commission no longer exists. This is that to actually inform key players within the, arena to be able to think aloud and then, maybe perhaps think of something else. Those that could remember the second movement as we had peace clubs in virtually all the local governments. Those peace clubs were sort of like stand up, the conflict management alliance at the local government level, while the state conflict management alliance oversees the entire state. And members of the peace club come to Kaduna every 2 weeks to provide transport and accommodation where necessary for them to attend fortnight weekly meetings we do hold. So that was there. And we were able to manage a lot of things. We were able to come together and work quietly, if not for the nations of these lands. Many people couldn't have even known that something that existed in those days. And most of the peace that people were enjoying then were as a result of our efforts and action. We wouldn't want to blow our trumpet. We prefer something just than for us.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir, for sharing this wonderful experience. And I think it will be necessary at some point to document this, whether as a memoir or the biography or something, but the generation to come will be a powerful gift.
We literally gave birth to the peace commission. At the initial stage, close to half of the members of the peace commission, including the first chief executive officer of the peace commission, came from it also who chaired the domestic peace commission was my co-chair when I was chairing the domestic but for some reasons he left England under the Catholic Council, so Anglican Council of Churches. So he couldn't continue as co-chair, and I became the sole chair. So literally, the peace commission had all our inputs in it. We lobbied day and night. We attended public hearings at the Domestic House of Assembly to make sure that the peace commission sees the light of the day. We engaged virtually all major government agencies like DFID and so on and so forth in ensuring that they provide all the necessary support, technical and so on and so forth, to the peace commission so that it becomes a success. This is it, and like I said, we don't want to blow our own profits. We prefer to be there.
Thank you very much, sir. In fact, when this issue came up yesterday, I've been thinking about it. Why was the Kaduna Peace Commission dissolved? And I heard from some of the discussion yesterday that something is in the works by the present administration that will start maybe like a replacement of the Peace Commission or something like that. But perhaps what I was talking about.
If you look at the law established in the domestic peace commission, you will find out that there are provisions that give the government exclusive right to dissolve the commission without reverting back to the state house. And so, the wisdom was that the peace commission might serve its purpose for a period of time when peace and tranquility is believed to have been achieved to a certain level, whereby communities, which is one of the things we are trying to prove, do take over management of most of the peace within their environments. The need for peace commission wouldn't be there. So, if that situation can be proven, the government has the exclusive right to dissolve the peace commission without reverting back to the state house of assembly. But then, even under such circumstances, this was one of the things that we arranged when the bill was on the process of being vetted by the state house of assembly. That even though powers like that are being vested in the office of the governor, there is need for the state house of assembly also to be consulted, because this is where you have representation of the various segments of the society. And we called for a situation whereby a transitional structure be put in place, to properly wind up. And where the transitional structure finds that there has been a hasty decision from the office of the governor, they should advise the government that it's not yet time for the commission. That was not done. And secondly, I believe there were political will that holds even though this government sometimes doesn't like us saying that it's an offshoot of the previous government. It was because of the decision that was taken because of the previous government. Whether they like it or not, they will continue to say this. And they can't run away from that fact. It's better for them to come out and admit that yes, we were part and parcel for that decisions that were taken that we believe was a mistake. So we are going to make amends to that. But for them completely to come out, I mean, in outright confrontation on this issues, it's not very much.
Thank you very much, sir. To quick point to amplify for what I said, there was funding from the National Security Advisor's Office to support what we are doing. And follow up to the point he made yesterday, that we should provide PSB and all this external funding, which I get this morning. Please take note of potential sources of funding for your own activities that are domestic, including our own philanthropic foundations, as well as self-governmented agencies that have a mandate that can be used to provide support domestically for some of the activities that we are doing. Politics is always with us, either in the good or the bad sense, and what makes democracy attractive, as I mentioned earlier, is that if the politics takes a very negative turn, your participation is guaranteed in the democratic system, and you can work to reverse the negative political turn of event that we observe. In other military regimes, you have tranquility, no rancor, no infighting, except when it broke out openly and overthrown the regime. In civilian democratic system, the most important item it puts on the table is the right of citizens to participate in governmental decision making. There are various mechanisms of doing that, one of which were the elected representatives. And the other ones are the right of the citizens to do so many things: raise petitions, peacefully demonstrate, recall their members who are not representing them. So please take note that these things with us, we can choose them, we can use them. Internal funding sources exist, and they are already doing good work. It's only for you to get aware of what their priorities and how you can craft your own funding application. If I may add, those of you who are working in the educational institutions, as lecturers and so on. There is the Tech Fund Foundation, which is a massive funding agency. They sponsor so many programs around universities and colleges of education and so on and so forth. One of their funding mechanisms is for research, and a research that want to build local capacity for peacemaking and peace building. I'm sure it will attract a favorable consideration. Okay, so thank you very much, sir. Yes. And I think it will still, I will still pay.
Yes, and also to add, those finally,
the funding that came from the Office of the National Security Advisor then, was an intervention fund across 9 cities. It was Mosul, Plateau, Benue, Taraba, a number of others. Now, every month we attend a national summit, or national meeting in Abuja, where the Inspector General of Police does attend, the Commandant General of the International Defense Force, representatives of the Nigerian the Chief of Police Staff and Air Staff and so on and so forth, also members of the National Council, where we, the chairs at the state, do go there and give monthly reports. No, it was monthly later, but at the initial stage it was after every 2 months. We do compile all reports and then we go there and then we disseminate most of the reports we have. And the funding flow was so smooth that it was self-accounting. And for whatever kind of system we're going to design, I think it would be good for us to take note of how interventionists in security and governance issues were made. Because that is the major area whereby we will be able to attract campus locally. And why I said I'm not totally against international norms, but we have to be very careful in light of what has happened or what the regulations we have now. And it will be good if you have funding locally. It doesn't come with too much stringent conditions. It's more flexible. And it's easy for you to negotiate because you're talking to a fellow brother who understands the situation, who is also part and parcel of the victims, so to say. And you can see physically, practically. Unlike when you talk to an international law who is not present there, who relies on other sources of information, intelligence gathering, so on and so forth, to make a final decision. It would be much more better. But where international funding would come in very soft, when I say soft, gives you the leverage to take a lot of things you can accept.
Thank you very much, sir. It is the growth of campaign that are taking back. I think the generation at home will be endlessly enriched if you were to write a memo or what is possible in the public domain kind of way.
Yes. At the point of winding up the district land, we had a publication that was done. It was called Securing Technology. I think I do have reference of the publications. Actually, it was published by a normal autobiographical account of happens of the state conflict management plans. It was not meant for sale. Maybe that is one of the reasons why you won't find them in huge bookstores. I do have remnants of them. If I can get a contact, I will send copies to you. I also have soft copies. If you can share email of the participants here, I will send each and every person. I will send each and every person a copy of the publication. Now, the publication was detailed enough. It gave an account of my 6 years service as the chairman of the Domestic Conflict Management Plans during this period. Also, at the same time, it looked into most of the issues for handling and mitigating against peaceful coexistence in the sea, some of the solutions we offer, and how we tackle most of those issues.
Thank you very much, sir. God bless you. Thank you so much. Uh, Thank you, sir. Just the policies making get me thinking that we really need to do local funding mechanism kind of workshop. It may be a very interesting idea to make part of my recommendation to the center and see that the possibility that exists there that are not utilized, perhaps civil society organizations like you will benefit from some kind of a workshop that explore this kind of fundamental resource that is underutilized. Thank you very much, sir. Okay. Thanks, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone. I want to say this has been an insightful event. And my name is Hajjari Snyder from the Nation of Business Security and I'm the Chief Information Officer. I wanted to say something at the beginning, but then I just decided to take on passive for a while. I just listened to everybody. This was intentional, and I'm glad I did. And first of all, I would like to talk about the issue of looking at alternative sources of funding. I would say, fortunately, this is one of the issues that has cropped up in the ministry. We've been around now for about, I would say, 8 weeks. Because we just came into office for 8 weeks. And the issue of looking at no, the ministry. Yes. And no, we left from justice, and we're now in international security. Yes. So when we came in, we did what I would say our own level of baseline survey, and we actually discovered that a lot of NGOs and CBOs, we got volunteers and everything. Some of them actually working in isolation. Some activities are overlapping, and then some activities are without necessarily looking at strategic outcomes. And then we decided it's high time maybe we bring these organizations together. But that's another issue. Then we talk about the alternative source of funding. It's something that we have actually raised, and we have even spoken to some NGOs and CBOs that have sent letters because some NGOs have actually picked activities and they said, okay, these are the kind of activities we're doing. What please do? And we told them, send in a proposal. Let's see where we can come in because we have funds and have been set aside for initiatives like this. We'll see how we can collaborate. And another thing we're also looking at is synergy. That synergy is not there. Yes, I know sometimes they say people pick the pipeline things too. We want to make sure that we deliver on outcomes from our funders and things like that. But then it's high time we begin to look inwards. And that's why the issue of the alternative sources of funding came. And he said, okay, if we can provide these funds, we'll be able to make certain decisions and we might not necessarily bend to the needs and practices of the international organizations, those who say or the funders. Yes. And also, there is also another initiative of preventing and countering violent extremism, which also sponsored by Knowledge Innovation Research Law. And Kaduna State is also one of the states in the northwestern region of Nigeria that has been chosen for that project. And the ministry is actually not pioneering, I would say steering it, because we're supposed to set up a steering committee and also we're supposed to set up a northwest law. So it's all still in the works. We're just coming into the green area, but then we're really strategic about it. Our looking at different ways that we can help. Then also, let's talk about we're looking at different strategies and worked in a lot of projects where we say when you preach peace or after talking about peace building, after doing your ATR, what next? Sometimes you cannot preach peace on an empty stomach. Sometimes you need these people who have been affected by conflict. You do your probably you make negotiations, ATRs, and then you need them. Sometimes these people need economic support. They need livelihood support. And I know about legacy of unfortunately I'm not seeing anybody from legacy here. Ladies empowerment goals and support initiative. And I know that that's what they do. They provide livelihood support for women affected by conflict I have been engaged in one of the initiatives in Bora. It was one of these women that could be integrated back into their communities in February. And they also do things like the village savings and loans initiative for these women and youth. It's an initiative where these women come together, not just to see how they can improve their economic situation, but also to interact and see how they can solve the little issues that they have in their communities, some drug abuse and all that. So it's another point. I just wanted to put this there. Then also you mentioned the state conflict management alliance, and I know INC also talked about the community management regional council, something like that. And I know they're similar. If I'm not mistaken, of course, maybe they stepped out, but I just wanted the clarity. So these are still the issues. Sometimes these initiatives overlap, but if we can have it streamlined, I believe we'll be able to have a better objectives.
Thank you so much. I think we absolutely clear. How you say your agency will have some funds to support local activities. So that already demonstrates the works. How would people know when you start submitting applications or guidelines for things like that? How how many moments are in the line? What is the family right now?
It's not a matter of funds or anything. There are actually funds set aside for interventions. So what we usually say is we need to see a proposal. We need to see what it is that we want to do. And it has to be strategic. It's not the whole business as usual. I just want to go to the community and do something. It must be a problem that you want to address. And it must be, of course, the objective that you're looking at. And at the end of the day, we should be able to measure and say this is what was obtainable before we intervene, and then when we intervene, exactly. So this is just what we're looking at. But for the meantime, like I said, it's still a work in progress. It's not like there's the fund is available. What we're looking at now is proposals. Those proposals that will benefit the people. Those proposals that will actually contribute to peace building and improving the security in states.
Have you made that states?
No, we haven't looked at it. Yeah, we're actually, yes, we're actually setting that plan. And just to add to that, the first plan is I'm actually putting a list together. Even me attending this gathering also is taking two birds with one stone. Okay, so I'm taking notes of organizations and then we're going to do an official invitation. We want to have a forum where we invite all these organizations to really understand what it is that they do and how they do what they do. So that we begin to see, okay, how we can come in. This is just one of the things.
Thank you so much. Yes, I will come back. I didn't finish with that side, but I had to. Okay, thank you, sir. What? Oh,
I just wanted to add submission.
yes, yes, sir.
Advice.
I think it's high time civil society organizations and key players in terms of various intervention players within the development sector come together to fund whatever it is funded. You could have something of that sort that tends to cater for developmental work sticks, and it will be definitely good, where civil society organizations can access, everybody can access as long as that particular organization or persons could prove that they do come from that particular area or have interest in that particular area and they've been doing developmental work in those particular areas. And secure funding, if they could tender a convincing proposal that is convincing enough with satisfying end results and so on and so forth.
Just like the international.
That's like the international funders do. You develop a concept note. In the concept note, you
take care of the methodologies, the end results, operational methods, what it takes to achieve sustainability, long-term, short-term, mid-term, and so on and so forth. I think the framework of accounting or conducting the entire developmental business has been set.
what is lacking now is an organized funding mechanism. And one of the reasons why I share this view is that over the years I've come to notice that Nigerians are great members. They donate, they give charity, they dole out money. Most of this money they dole out, I won't say it's being invested, but if properly understood, would tend to provide better results than those used to run now. This is just my own thoughts. I want us to think about me, and let's see, maybe when next we meet, I'll get more on this particular area. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ahmed. Nigeria are very much important when it comes to peace because they do works with young people and they have structure right from the state here in Kaduna State, local government, and also down to the world level. And next thing I want to share is that in our organization, after such local community organization did their own part, we usually empower young people. In each community, we have AYPs, that is adolescent young people. Each ward we have 50 AYPs. They used to step down our activities within their communities in terms of awareness, and our center serve as a social space for both Christian and Muslims and people with different culture. And coming back to the Ministry of Internal Affairs, uh, we did a program here at Kaduna State, and Madam Sheikh Mahmoud, Madam Sheikh Mahmoud Gubi, Dr. Sheikh, he is the doctor, he is the keynote speaker during that program. I am the one that, moderated the program here at Ariwa House. But what amazingly happened after the program was we were invited by the DSS, though it is normal, and I saw a letter from the DSS, and that letter was from the Ministry of Internal Affairs for investigation. Then I called Zelani Inje Musa. He said there is no problem, anything goes on, we should inform him. And after such investigation, they suggested that the name of the organization should be not that name, you should be named. And you made mention of you are supporting organization with some funds to carry, activities like this. What brought the issue of investigating such organizations that are promoting and also advocating for peace? This is very important because Ministry of Internal Affairs is a similar organization that we as young people can partner together in order to promote. It happens actually not during summer as well. Yeah, I can say 2 or 3. Yeah, that is 2022. 2022. Yes. So that is what happened actually during those days. And to me, I'm very happy because we have another program under the Council of Nigeria, the program that I target in the local government. So we have some ministry, especially in supporting us with those, technical support that the ministry is giving to young people because there are so many activities we want to do to engage young people within, in the local government. Thank you. AYS, adolescent young people. Yes.
Thank you so much. Yes. And what do we got? Okay. You only are really out of that.
Great.
Someone